And welcome back. Norma Gigaba is back in the Pretoria Magistrates Court today on charges of malicious damage to property and criminal injuria. Gigaba allegedly damaged a car her husband, the former Minister Malusi Gigaba, had been using after borrowing it from a friend. Last month, the High Court declared her arrest unlawful and said it was an abuse of power by members of the Hawks and her estranged husband. To give us an update on this morning's proceedings, we now speak to SABC reporter Molemo Wa-One Mothoa, who now joins us. Molemo, good morning. Welcome to the show. What is expected to happen today in court?
Good morning, Aldrin. Norma Gigaba is back in court this morning on charges of malicious damage to property as well as crimen injuria. As you'd recall that she was arrested last year regarding claims that she had damaged an expensive German vehicle belonging to her husband's friend. And we've heard in court earlier that the Hawks seized her devices and personal information was downloaded, and we also heard that she was escorted in her house to her bedroom by members of the Hawks. So she took the matter to the High Court to have her arrest declared unlawful and unconstitutional. So last month, the High Court ruled that the decision to arrest her was unlawful and as well as contravened the Constitution. And it also ruled that the information downloaded be restored. However, the prosecution at the Pretoria Magistrates Court earlier argued that despite the fact that the arrest was tainted, there is a crime. A crime has been committed and should be prosecuted. So she's back in court this morning to hear how the High Court ruling will impact, her crimen injuria case.
Has there been anything that came from the defense's side? Because as you now just pointed out as well, is that after that High Court judgment, they'd argued that there is no case against Norma Gigaba, and including that the evidence that the prosecution would be relying on is evidence that has been retrieved illegally.
Well, last month her defense argued that her arrest was an abuse of power, and as Advocate Dalimpofu explained, he said that it is it's like what they call the fruits of a poisoned tree, and that they want the case to be thrown out. So they said, they indicated that they are indeed going to take legal action against the unlawful arrest.
Oh, so that's going to be a separate matter as well, while this matter also continues. So you're going to have two parallel matters that run concurrently.
Well, for this morning, Aldrin, what we actually are expecting here, to hear is how the court ruling last month will impact on her crimen injuria case and as well as the malicious damage to property. So the lawyers last month just indicated that they are going to take legal action, but they didn't actually indicate as to when will that take place.
Okay, then thank you so much for that. That's our report today. Molemo Wa-One Mothoa, I really appreciate your time, as Norma Gigaba is expected back in court this morning.